So now, got it. So I got to hit got it. So I super apologize for starting late, the debacle with the password and the link. The email was wrong. The text was right. It's like, so anyway, so we'll get going. And like I said, I introduced a bunch of people that are newer to the company since one of them was Ruben. I don't think we got Ruben. I don't think I introduced him. And then Pam, and then Laura. I don't think Laura was here when we had our last meeting. Melanie. So welcome to all the new kids in the neighborhood. And I just want you to know that, it's you guys that make Aubrey and Associates a great company. You really do. I mean, I have the privilege of walking beside all of you folks. I really do. It's a great honor to just to be your broker. I mean, I consider it a service to me, because if you notice how many people here can tell me what my hashtag is on the bottom on my email signature?
An education company disguised as a brokerage?
No,
Proud to
that's
serve you.
proud to serve you. Exactly,
Oh,
exactly
thanks.
right. So it's proud, and then the number 2, serve, and the letter U. So that's who I am, right? I just remember that, boys and girls. So today there's a couple things I want to talk about. So Jen, you win the award for the most decorated office. You have is that
Okay,
are they pine? Is that wallpaper or is that a stamp?
That's wallpaper. They're pineapples.
Oh yeah. So you a psych fan? So I don't know.
My house is like beach themed throughout the whole house. So
Got it.
yeah.
The show
Thank you.
psych, they have a pineapple on every episode.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it shows up in like odd places. So Barbara Kelly, is Barbara in?
No, I don't see her.
No. All right, let me text her real quick.
You run the meeting. I'll just tell me who it is and I'll text them.
Barbara Kelly, I got it right there. So Barbara Kelly DeLuca. Okay. So anyway, so one of the things we want to talk about, the theme is that we're pushing hard is SOI, 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 right? By how many people, because most of you are not on camera, so you can speak, you can unmute yourself if you want, but how many people would you say that most of their business comes from friends and friends, family, and referrals, right? From referrals from past clients. Right. I mean, show of hands, everybody's business, right? I mean, most of you, I know for a fact, do not have like outside sources, where you're doing like web leads and stuff like that. I know that. So we're always pushing SOI. But here's the thing that I want to really, what's interesting is most agents will chase any program, any huckster that comes along with a program that this kind of web lead and that kind of web lead, blah, 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 blah. And, and all their business comes from their SOI. Right. So anyway, excuse me. So for those that are new to me, I'm not sick. I have an acid reflux condition where I get mucus up in my esophagus. So I hack a lot. So please bear with me. I try my best not to, but it's a challenge. And if you haven't known me long, I'm actually doing 1,000% better. So there was a time where I could barely complete a sentence, let alone go on for 30 seconds. So anyway, so back to the SOI. So we're pushing SOI hard because we know that's where the business is. And I always say, look, let's maximize your SOI before we even consider going out to one of the other ones, right? If you're not really working your sphere the way you should, then you don't have any business chasing other types of businesses, in my opinion. Now, if you're brand new and you don't have a database, well, then that's fine. Well, we're, brand new to the community, blah, 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 blah. We can work with you on that. I get that. That's an issue. So with that said, so a few things we have coming up. One is on, what's the date on that? Deb, is it the 29th?
The
27th. The 27th, yeah.
7th.
The SY class.
Thursday, the 27th.
Right, Thursday the 27th, we're starting, and we did it last year. We did it in 8 weeks. Now it's 6 weeks, and we're doing it online. I encourage you all, and if you're an alumni, you can attend these classes again. So I see someone, I know Brian was in it, Jennifer were in it, Vonda was there. We had looking on the list. So we had a handful of people, Danae. So you guys can take the class again, without any, cost or anything like that. Now, what we charge is $225. However, you can get up to 200 back. And the way you get $200 back is you attend the classes and you close 2 transactions within 3 months of the class. Not very hard to do. And that's a double win, because if you actually close the transactions, you actually made money, and the 200 is even less relevant. Right? We'll give you back $100 per closing. So, but it's a 6-week class. We're going to do once a week online. And again, those that I'd encourage those that took it in the past, take it again. Take it again. There's a spam call. God, that guy hasn't called me in 20 minutes. I'm starting to miss him. These spammers, the worst part is they're not calling from the number that's on your caller ID. So you can't really block them, because that's not the number they're calling from. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, so we have that class. So we're going to walk you through, building a database, how to work your database, what to say to them, how to market to them. What do you do if you get in a lead? How do you follow up on the lead? What do you do if you got a listing appointment? We're going to walk you through the listing appointment. We do a CMA presentation. We do a listing presentation. How to work with buyers when you get a buyer lead. What do you do with them? Blah, 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 blah. We take you all the way through it. Then at the end, we'll go celebrate and have lunch somewhere on me. Okay? Sound like a plan? So unless you're doing, so by show of hands, how many people on the call have too much money? Anybody? I'm looking way out there, right? How many people have too many listings? Anybody? How many people have too many leads? Anybody have too many leads? Well, unless you answer to any of them, you should be in that class. Got it? And look, hey, and look, if you miss one and you can't, the idea is if you do what we teach you, you will make many, 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 many times the money that it costs, even if you don't get your money back because you missed a class or whatever. Does that make sense? I mean, just please attend. Please do it. I mean, I think you'll be the better for it. Anyway, so that's that. So the other thing is next Wednesday, we were doing a CE class online, but in person, but in light of the new mask mandates and the rise of viruses and things like that, we're doing it online. And that is a lead generation class, which I think is a great class to sit in on. Because one, you get 4 hours of CE credit for it. So I mean, that's not too shabby. You get 4 hours of CE, but also, I think I got a text from Becky. No, I got an email from Becky. Let's see what Becky said. Maybe, can you text Becky? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Then maybe why I couldn't go to the meet. Yeah, I texted her or email. Oh, no. Yeah. Anyway, so that class is kind of a precursor to the 6-week class that we're teaching. Okay. Anybody have any questions on the CE class for next week or the 6-week class? All right, great. So that means you're all signing up, right? Somebody just text. Let's get a text from Vonda. Oh, she signed up for the class, the CE class. Okay, so with that said, so The other thing we do is I teach what I call the rule of one. So the rule of one is you send one email a week, you send one direct mail per month, and you do one direct contact per quarter. Okay. And so direct contact is either phone, voice to voice, a Zoom type meeting, or a face to face where you can do a drop by, or they call them pop buys, right? You pop by and say hi. If you do a pop by, you always want to bring a small token gift, whether it be like a refrigerator magnet, letter opener, those are my favorites. I mean, I have one that it's got my business card in there from, it had to be from 1997, right? Because I remember the picture and I remember where I took it and I remember who had took it. So that magnet has to be, it's on my refrigerator because I use it to open mail. And so it stays on your fridge if you give them some. So you always want to bring a token of value when you stop and you meet somebody in person. And what that does, that creates what's called the law of reciprocity. Can anybody want to share the law of reciprocity if they know what it is?
Well, I do, but somebody else should answer.
Yeah, who wants to share? Anyway, so what it is, so one of the best examples is if you, like when you walk in an office building and there's double doors and then you go in a little vestibule and there's another set of doors, right? So if I walk up and I hold the door for you, well, you're automatically going to hold the door. Now, every once in a while, you're going to get some butthead that won't hold the next door for you. But if I hold the door for you and you walk through, you're going to hold the door for me, the next set of doors. I mean, that's just a law of that's just a law. And that's called the law of reciprocity. So when you give someone a small token, you invoke the unwritten law of reciprocity. So, and what that means is they owe you something. So, and then, so what we want to do is we want to create that. We want to have people, we want people to owe us. And then we want to train them that the way they can pay us back is by sending us a referral. Does that make sense? So are you playing peekaboo with us, Melanie? She's got her finger over the camera. Looks like you're going peekaboo with us here. You're going. So anyway, does that make sense, boys and girls? What I mean by the law of creating the law of reciprocity. So if you visit somebody, bring a small token. Letter openers, refrigerator magnets. That stuff works. I mean, there's all kinds of cute things people do. Is they get the little plastic popcorn holder, but little plastic popcorn bucket. They put they'll put like a thing of popcorn in there, and then like a Redbox movie gift certificate, or you can give them an Amazon movie gift certificate, whatever, right? And I just popped by to say hi, right? I mean, you can get corny as you want, but and here's the thing, like for me, I'm like, my attitude is I don't want to do that corny stuff, but here's the reality though, boys and girls, it works. So you can say what you want. That stuff works. Now, you don't have to get that corny, but the refrigerator magnet, why not? With the letter opener, I think that's the perfect one. And if you guys want to do those, we can order them in bulk, and then what you'd have to do is you have to take, we would order bulk and we would do it. And then you would pay for your share. Because if we order in bulk, we'll all get a cheaper price. And then what can happen there is then we can give you, you can get the better price. And then what we'll do is we'll just order them up, and then you'd swing by my house, we'll invoice you the money, swing by, and then you pick up how many you order. If you ordered 100, if we order 1,000, we definitely get them cheaper. And then you take them home, you slide your business card in. So we'll send out an email on that. So Deb, will you make sure we do that?
Yep,
Email
I
Deb.
will.
Deb takes notes. I'm the idea guy. Deb's job is to make my ideas happen. So, and when I say we, if you're new to the company, we means Debbie. So when I say we are going to do it, that means Debbie's over there taking notes. That's what that means, right? Because you saw what happened when I do it. I screwed up. I sent out 2 different links. I sent out 2 different passwords. It was a debacle. That's what happens when they leave me in charge. So So anyway, so that's the basic premise of the rule of one, right? So one email a week, one direct mail a month, one direct contact per quarter. And then you sprinkle in social media too. But at the very least, because here's a question I have for you. Some people respond to email. Some people respond to phone calls. Some people respond to direct mail. Some people respond to social media. Some people respond to text message. So which marketing should you do? Anybody?
You guys all need to unmute yourselves.
Yeah, just
For me-
everybody unmute yourself. Unless you got a lot of noise, everybody unmute yourself. This is
Hey,
not
Rob,
a,
for me, text messages work really well for me.
right. So, but the question is, but if some of your database responds to text, some respond to voicemail, some respond to phone calls, which should you do?
The one
All
your
of them?
client
Like
responds to the best.
The answer is all of them,
All right.
because you don't know who responds to what. Unless you know, unless your database is so solid that you know how they respond, what message actually resonates with them, then if you don't know that information, then all of them. Make sense? So anyway, so that's that. And if you don't know, we have a solution that we charge $25 a month for, and we bill it annually, $300 a year, because I'm not collecting $25 a month from real estate agents. That sounds like I get a headache at the thought. So, but with that $25, what we do is we do 3 social posts a week, 3 social posts a week to a Facebook business page, and we send out 1 email a week. So we do that. We'll do that for you for $25 a month. And then we also have direct mail marketing. If you look at all that, that's all printing equipment back there. That's one there. That's a $28,000 laser printer. That's a $10,000 printer back there. I got a machine over there that'll fold envelopes, fold the letters, stuff in the envelope, and seal it shut. We can crank out postcards at will. So, and we do postcards, full color, half page, gloss, right? That printer can print glossy stock. It's amazing. For 70 cents a postcard out the door. 70 cents out the door for a full half page gloss postcard. So take advantage of this, boys and girls, because we all know the money's in the database. That's where the money's at. Y'all heard of the story, Acres of Diamonds, right? The African farmer went out looking for diamonds and then he died later on broke, but it turned out he actually owned the largest diamond vein in the world, but because he had these rocks down by it, he had a river with rocks. He didn't know what a diamond looked like in a rough state. And it turned out he owned the largest diamond mine in the world, but he died broke because he sold his farm, went out looking for diamonds. So you have acres of diamonds in your database. Got it? Okay. So we have a guest on here. His name's Phil Cassidy. He's from Reminder Media. And I hope we're not going over on your time, Phil, because we started so late and then I had my stuff.
No worries. No worries. And to be honest, Rob, you couldn't have teed this thing up any better for me, to tell you the truth. So I will share my screen. Let me see if I.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
While
You have
you're
to give me, to give
give
me a
them
little
screen
access or.
So Phil is from a company called Reminder Media. I've been talking to the sales rep. So Phil's the presenter. The other guy I've been talking to is the sales rep, Peter Delafleur.
Yep.
And so what they have is they do a magazine. I've seen it. They sent me samples. I looked at the online version. I mean, it's a good product. You know, it's obviously it's cheap, not as cheap as a postcard, but it's a very, very good product. And so Phil is going to do a demonstration for us.
You should be able to now, Phil.
There we go. There we go. Should be good, right? You see it?
Yep.
Awesome. So good afternoon, good morning. My name is Phil Cassidy. I'm one of the marketing coordinators here with Reminder Media. First, thanks for giving me the time to do this presentation. A little bit of background on our company. Now, we've been in business for 18 years now, based right outside of Philadelphia. Started in the garage way back in 2004.
I'm from Philadelphia, so.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Even better. but we've grown over the years significantly because of our success within the realm of real estate. This presentation today, it's called Stop Missing Opportunities and Start Connecting. And I can say with complete certainty that whether you're brand new, part-time, a seasoned veteran, or anything in between, referral business and client retention is absolutely critical to your success. And to highlight a few things from a recent study conducted by NAR, you'll see that 53% of buyers and 67% of sellers found their agent by referral or by going with the last business professional that they worked with in previous years. And look, I understand everyone wants to be a good listing agent since that's where the money is. But when you take a closer look at the 67% of sellers that found their agent by referral, you'll notice less than 6% of sellers found their agent through websites and traditional farming tools combined. This tells us that people may go online to check out houses and research agents, but when the time comes for them to list their home, they're going to find their agent through somebody that they know and trust, or they're going to use the same realtor that they used last time. Now, knowing that most of your leads are coming from these referrals, the next question is where you're spending your money. Now, NAR's recent study, right, they found 63% of licensed agents are spending a whopping $0 a year on relationship and referral-based expenses. And I speak with many agents every day. The fact simply is that agents struggle to put their time, effort, emotion, energy, but most importantly, their money into the right places. And this is why we're truly in business. Like, I don't want anybody in the office to drive by the home of a past client, a friend, a family member, or even just a neighbor down the street, and you see a for sale sign with a competitor's name on it. Nor do I want anyone listening today to log on to the MLS. You see a potential client that you devoted all this time, effort, energy, and money into, but they ended up listing with a different agent. Now, these are the missed opportunities we're going to be addressing real quick with this really simple statement. And we all know it. It's a relationship-based business, right? Now, with that being said, the easiest way for you to generate more referrals and secure the repeat transactions is by reminding your clients that you value that relationship and reminding them that you appreciate the business that they send your way. And this is where we come in. So we help agents stay connected with their sphere of influence and their past clients in order to generate referral opportunities and secure future transactions. And this is how we do it, a few ways. So we have 3 publications now. First is our flagship, the American Lifestyle Magazine. The look and feel of all 3 of these is like an Architectural Digest, a Southern Living. So it's got the high gloss covers, glossy, colorful pages. American Lifestyle is our flagship. Mainly it's general interest articles in there celebrating life in America, like travel, arts and leisure, home and decor, there's cooking recipes, et cetera, et cetera. A couple of years ago, we started Start Healthy, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's about living a healthy lifestyle, eating better, exercise, how to build a better sleeping environment, et cetera, et cetera. And now last year, we came out with Good to Be Home. Now, we did this specifically for real estate agents because they've been asking us for something more home related. So here we go. And this is geared more towards info like home improvement tips, how to stage your home, maintenance on a budget, the importance of curb appeal, projects to save money, home and garden type stuff along those lines. All 3 of these magazines are 48-piece coffee table pieces that we brand entirely to you. So it's really important to note that there isn't any, business-related content or anything in the magazine. We brand you right on the front cover with your photo, branding, contact information, your logo. So your recipients, you're going to know exactly who sent this to them the second they pull it out of the mailbox. And we have dozens and dozens of different options you can choose from for the front cover in our client portal. So you'll definitely be able to select something that you really like, and of course you're branded on it. So right on the inside front cover, got messed up there for a second. There's a spot for a letter, and we will personalize that to each and every one of your recipients individually. So dear Bill and Judy, dear Mike and Molly, right? Congrats on the baby, happy anniversary. You can get as personal as you like in the magazine to your client specifically. And if you're on the newer side, it's a really nice spot to put a value proposition about your business. We have 2 branded tear-out cards as well. One in the front, one in the back of the magazine. Both of these are branded to you and customizable. Usually recipes are a huge hit, but we do offer tons of content to choose from like decorative tips, cleaning tips, health tips, travel, et cetera, et cetera. You get complete control of the back cover as well. We have tons of templates to choose from in our client portal with your photos and branding displayed on it. Or we can help you design something from scratch to highlight local listings, sold properties, client testimonials, market updates, and things along those lines. So let me touch real quick on why this works so well. Obviously, there's things we can't always do, like taking our clients out to dinner every quarter to earn their business down the road. We're all going to go broke in the process. Then on the flip side, we have the newsletters, the flyers, the pamphlets and emails, which I don't like to beat these things up too much because every touch point is worthwhile. However, the number one reason why agents use our services is because of the shelf life. Now, we track the magazine to sit in the home for average of 3 to 4 weeks. So rather than getting tossed in the trash can like so many other tools out there, you're going to be inside the home on the coffee table, the kitchen counter, not to make anybody laugh, but maybe even the stack of magazines in the bathroom, right? But the point is you're there and they're going to see your face every single day. So when one of your recipients are ready to start looking, or if they had that referral opportunity, a friend, a family member, a coworker, who they're going to think of when the time comes. Is it going to be, the person they're seeing their face every day, or, the person that tried to, slide a postcard in, right? The idea is we're going to get you completely synonymous with each and every one of your recipients when it comes to real estate. Any questions so far? I usually get the $1 million question, of course, but any questions maybe about the magazine at this point or the concept of how it works? So far, so good.
I just want to add to that, this is not your end all be all. This is something you do in addition to the many touches that we described. Again, not one of these is, different people respond to different things. So you just have to touch them all the time. And, when Peter called me, I was like, I said, man, I got a meeting for you. I mean, because I knew we were going to be having this SOI meeting, and this was just the perfect timing for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you were talking about pop-by gifts, you can also get some mailed to yourself. And, if you want to go and stop by a client, say hi, you handle a magazine, could be another way of using it as a pop-by gift as well. Just give you ideas. But yeah, we'll mail them directly to your clients for you, which I'll go over in a couple seconds here.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah. Hi.
I've used the magazine. Unfortunately, I'm not using it at the moment.
What? That's okay.
Yeah. But I wanted to show you guys that it's a really, really nice magazine. And, they may look different now. It's been a minute since I've used them, but they put your picture in it with the message that Phil was talking about. And it's really a high-end magazine. It's made with really nice paper. The pictures are nice. And my clients always, every time I would see them in person or talk to them on the phone, they would say, hey, I got your magazine. It's so nice. It's sitting on my coffee table. So they do work. Again, I'm not using it at the moment. I need to start up again, but they definitely work. Your clients love them.
Thank you.
The other thing I would add to that is, when you send those, if you send those out and when, that you call your database afterwards. Hey, just wanted to reach out. Did you get my magazine? What a great way to call. What a great
you're
reason to call
you're ruining my pitch, Rob.
Oh,
That's coming up. But no, that's cool.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right then. No, that's fine. That's fine. I thought it was funny because that's definitely in my thing coming up here.
Rob, I'm going to mute you if you don't hush.
He's stealing I'm going to be out of a job. One quick thing, and Jen, I know you probably haven't seen this either. We have a new system. It's called Targeted Follow-Up, and it's free with our services. It's pretty awesome. It uses predictive analytics to determine who's most likely to move in your database. So, for instance, say you have a database of, 500 people. You can upload all 500 people into the client portal into this Targeted Follow-Up. It uses consumer data, property data, behavioral data, like social media activity. It's all public stuff out there. Basically what it does is it crunches all these numbers together and scores your list of who's most likely to move. So if they're on, say, Realtor.com or Zillow's kind of hunting around at houses, that all gets captured. They may not be looking for an agent at this point, but you ship your magazine out to them when they're ready to look, maybe in a month or two. Most likely, you got the inside track on getting that listing or that real estate need. And it predicted 72% of listings in 2021. So it was like insanely accurate. Really happy about that. And again, that's free with the services. So here's what you need to know if you want to get started. If you want to grab a pen or snap a picture with your smartphone or however you want to do it. So we got a couple incentives for your office. So the first thing is we have a one-time activation fee. It's the only thing you're going to pay up front. It's usually $299, but as a thank you to Rob, little sale for you guys, only $99. Pay it once. You never pay it again. It's not recurring. So Jen, if you come back, you don't have to pay that again. It's not recurring. It's not monthly, yearly, literally one time. You're going to get your own personal marketing coach, and they're going to help you do everything with the magazine, from picking out covers, tear out cards, help you with the letter, come up with a game plan. Basically, you're going to be your personal assistant the entire time you're with us. You also get exclusivity over your mailing list. So whoever you have us mail it out to, nobody else can mail it out to your clients. Anybody in the world can't mail it to them. They can only get it from you and you only. You get access to the targeted follow-up, which I just went over, as well as our social media library. So if you're pretty active on Facebook and Instagram and you're kind of stuck on, oh, what should I post today? We have over 2,000 articles from the years we've been in business that you can go into the client portal, click it, send to Facebook, send to Instagram, and it'll cover that posting for the day. Price per magazine, it's only $4.19. That includes everything: postage, shipping and handling, customizations, the covers and the tear out cards. Minimum order is only $50. So it comes at $209.50. And you don't pay that until you're ready for us to mail it out. So if that's in 2 weeks, you pay it in 2 weeks. If it's in 2 months, pay it in 2 months, and we're going to work off of your schedule there. And last incentive is it's a trial, which means it's commitment free. Gives you a chance to test it out and basically let the response from your sphere dictate your future with us. Now, 88% of the agents that do a trial with us, they stay with us, for years to come based on the feedback that they get. So I just want to take a quick step back from the magazines real quick. And Rob, this is where I'm going to go with it now. I'm not promising to make, anybody here like the top producer or millionaire or anything overnight, but I can promise you is I'm going to get you inside the home and I'm going to keep you there for about 4 weeks. You're going to get some great feedback from your recipients. Only thing I would ask you to do is after your clients receive it is give them a call, right? The magazine first gives you a reason to call. Just have that nice conversation, maybe bring up one of the cooking recipes inside there, have that nice conversation, make sure that relationship's intact. And at the end, ask them if they know who's looking. And again, to piggyback on something Rob said earlier, you will be surprised in the amount of uptick in referrals you get, because human nature tells us you send them a gift, they're going to want to reciprocate back. Nothing better than give you a nice, strong referral as a return gift, I would think. Any questions on any of that?
Yeah, I give you $4, you give me 12,000 back.
Exactly.
That works.
Nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah, I mean, you think about it. If you do this for, like a year, like we'll just say 2 years, you get one transaction from it, and this thing's covered for, years to come, basically. I mean, yeah,
So-
it's literally cheaper than a Hallmark card.
I do have a question, Phil.
Yeah.
So what's the frequency required, or, I mean, is it monthly, weekly, annual, quarterly? Tell us about
Great
that.
question. So we do a new magazine every other month.
Okay.
So 6 times a year, which is the sweet spot, basically, on the shelf life. We've noticed every other month is a sweet spot. You can do it quarterly if you choose.
Okay.
Really depends on, your feel. But we do a new one every other month.
Okay.
Great question, though. Anybody else?
Anybody? Bueller?
Great movie.
So are all the magazines the same price? The other ones
They
you
are.
mentioned as well?
Yep, all 3 are the same price, exact same look and feel. Only difference is the content is different in in all 3. So
Right.
3 different magazines. But yeah, all the same price.
Okay.
And you can alternate,
you're-
like if every other month you can alternate a different magazine if you want to.
And that was my question.
Nice. You can change who you mail it to. If you want to change it, 50 people this time, and then in 2 months a different 50 people or whatnot, you can do that. Tons of flexibility.
Did you say how many pages the magazine has?
I did 48. So it's 48 pages. Yeah, it's a full blown magazine. Basically, I think it's like 24 double sided. And then you're branded 6 times throughout. And there's nothing in there like nothing controversial, no religion, no politics, nothing in there that markets or solicits anybody. There's no advertising, just you. We're not even
Nice.
mentioned. Reminder Media is not even mentioned.
Nice.
Yeah. No, great tool. It really is. It's definitely worth trying at least once. And yeah, man. So, any other questions or?
I have one.
I'm here. Yeah.
And I may have missed it.
Okay.
And you may have said it, but do you have stats on conversion, your ROI conversion?
Absolutely. So we have a company called GFK. I think they're called growth. I think it stands for Growth for Knowledge. They do our statistical stats for us every year. Magazine has a 58% referral rate. So you figure just, quick math. If you send it to 50 people every other month, you'd be looking at 25 to 30 strong referrals from it. Average agent closes a strong referral half the time. So, we'll say 14, 15 transactions per year. And then I guess you can do the math on,
Right.
On the ROI based on like the average home sales and all that. So yeah, I mean, heck, an extra 14 referral, right? Transactions
Well, at
on
least
average.
You have the opportunities, right? The
Right.
ROI would depend on the agent's lead follow-up.
Correct. And I'll tell you this, and I'll be honest with you, it will not be as effective if you don't make follow-up calls.
No,
But there's a lot of agents that fall in that trap. They send out the magazine, 4 or 5 times. They don't make any calls or any kind of follow-up. And then they're like, oh my God, this thing doesn't work. And I ask them like, well, what kind of feedback did you make when you called? And they're like, well, I really didn't call. I'm like, well, most likely that was the issue. So.
Do you have designers that work with how the layout's going to be with the sections that you mentioned, or?
Oh yeah. So absolutely. Yeah, we create everything. The content, the covers, the tear-out cards, absolutely. And then you'll work with them hand in hand to pick everything out.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, or you can do it all yourself. You can be as hands-on or as hands-off as you want in the entire process.
Do you do this nationwide, or are you just local?
Nope, nationwide.
So if we referred anyone to you, do we get any bonuses?
Absolutely. I'll give you 15 free magazines.
Okay.
Look at that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know agents in other states as well. So.
Oh,
just
perfect.
wondering.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, whoever signs up and tries, yeah, we'll hook you up. Absolutely. And which leads me into this, like, obviously I want to thank you guys, for giving me the time to do this. Anybody that wants to get started, wants to get at least activated either today or tomorrow, I'll give you 15 free magazines on your first mailing. So if you did minimum 50, you'll get 65 for the price of 50 as a little thank you. So not bad, right? 60 some dollars worth of freebies. My math stinks, but somewhere around there. Yeah, I mean, is there anybody in here that wants me to follow up afterwards so you don't end up falling through the cracks or anything?
Bill, I have a question.
Sure.
So the last time I've done these magazines as well. And the last
Yeah.
time, I mean, it seemed like I was ready to cancel and I couldn't cancel when I wanted to cancel. Have they changed that? I mean, not that I would cancel right away, but it seemed like I got into it and after a year or so I wanted to cancel and I don't know. I just remember there being something where it was a little bit difficult to cancel.
Yeah. So what we generally do is, that's a great question. So like I said, the first mailing is always a trial, right? Commitment free. So after the first mailing, we give you about 6 weeks, right? To make some follow-up calls, gauge the feedback, see how well it works for you guys. Then we're going to be like, hey, do you want to keep doing it? Do you want to part ways as friends? What's kind of like your thought on it? At that point, we would generally ask for a 9 mailing commitment at that point. And then, take it from there.
and then, so what would the 9 mailing commitment time frame? And that could be every other month, that could be once a quarter,
Correct.
that could be twice a year, whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, every other month or once a quarter.
Okay, so those are your 2 options.
Right.
Every other
And,
month,
and,
once
and look, we're not going to like hold you hostage. Like if you needed to skip a month for whatever reason, you're going away or money's tight or, whatever. We're going to work with you too. Right. We're not going to be like, we're not going to ruin relationships. Let's just put it that way. Quote unquote. But yeah, great question though. And you'll be able to tell, once you do that first mailing, when you get some great feedback and people are like, oh my God, I love it. And you get that listing you weren't expecting or that hot referral you weren't expecting, you're going to be like, hey, we got to keep doing this. So.
But the key, the fortune is in the follow-up.
It is. Can't stress it enough.
I'm here to tell you, boys and girls, if you're not going to follow up, just send me the money and I'll tell you look great. Just send me the money because you're not going to get anything out of it. You have to follow up. And that's on even the stuff, even without this magazine, the stuff that we teach, the key to everything, right? The rule of one is, one email, one direct mail, and one direct contact. If you could only do one, make it the direct contact. In other words, the first two may have some rate of return, but once you add the direct contact into the mix, your rate of return jumps exponentially. Right? So I want you to know, boys and girls, I prospect 2 days a week. I make phone calls to agents. I'm recruiting agents. So I'm making calls. So I'm not telling you to do something I don't do. So anyway.
And actually, when I was doing the magazine, I would actually have people call me that received it. I wouldn't even have to reach out to, all of them, but a few would call me back and just thank me for the magazine and tell me what article they liked and actually thank me for the magazine because it is a nice magazine.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're just getting embedded into their brain every time you're saying it. It's like,
and that's what it's all about. Yeah. So remember here's the thing, boys and girls, there's a thing called the reticular activator, right? So the way that works is, whatever car you buy a Chevy, you see Chevys, right? So, you buy this car, you're on the lot and you're like, oh, this is an awesome car, man. The color's perfect. I love the shape, the lines, whatever, right? You drive off the lot, you're like, this is just so unique. It's so me, right? You drive off the lot and there's like 6 of them at the first light. You never seen these cars before, but now that you have one, you actually start to see them.
Yeah.
So that's called the reticular activator, where you start to see things that you're focusing on. Now, our database is not focused on people that are moving, right? So like us as real estate agents, we could be, it's like Pam, I'll pick on you, Pam, because you spoke last. You and I, Pam, we could be at a heavy metal concert, and there's 2 guys on the other end of a stadium talking about moving. Now, we can't hear them talking, but we're like sitting up because like we got those little hairs in the back of our neck are like rising because somebody's talking about real estate. We're not sure. We're kind of looking around. We could just feel we're so in tuned to people moving that. Like, how many people here besides me has been in a restaurant and heard people talk about moving and walked over and handed them your business card? Anybody else? I've done it. I do it. Yeah, hell yeah, I do. I try to find out if one of them's an agent. I don't want to step on their toes when they're talking to an agent. But we're that in tune, But our database is not. In other words, our database is not looking because they're not thinking about it. So the whole idea of touching them through email, direct mail, phone call, a magazine like this, social media, the whole concept is to actually turn their brain on because the rule says that everybody knows 6 people a year that move. So if you got a database of 100 people, that's a leveraged database of 600 people. Well, let's say there's a 50% redundancy. And you got 100 people, there's 300 person database that people are going to move that you have access to. So your goal is you got to get in there and you got to touch them so that when they know somebody, they're going to think of you. And then you got to train them by calling them saying, who do you know? Who do you know? If you know anybody, call me. But you don't have to call them up right away and say, who do you know? You just call them up, say, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a while. Let them dump their problems on you. Listen to them and then great. By the way, who do you know? So by doing that, by adding that phone call, by the way, who do you know? By the way, who do you know? Then you will actually, and it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to see referrals coming in. But if you work the phones along with all the other systems, it takes about 18 months to 2 years to see it consistent. Not saying you won't do anything in the meantime, but I'm talking about turning it into a machine where people are calling often. Does that make sense? So.
Yeah.
Anyway, good. So I just
Awesome.
had to get that out.
I have one more quick question about the personalized letter.
Yeah.
So if we have a minimum of 50, are we writing 50 personalized letters every other month or?
You don't have
Quarter.
to. No, that's totally up to you. So you can write a personalized letter for each person every time you want, if you want. I mean, that would take a lot of time, but hey, you have that flexibility. We have pre-written letters on in our portal that you can use. You can write one and we'll send it to the same letter to every person if you want. It'll be addressed to them, like dear
Editor.
Rob,
Right.
yeah. And then if you want some promotional copies sent to yourself to use it like open houses and listing appointments to hand out to people, then we could address it more along the lines of like dear prospect, things like that.
So if, could we use one of those pre-made letters and just maybe add a line or two
Absolutely.
to each one?
Yep.
And if we did use them for an open house, would that count as part of that mailer, the 50?
It would. Yes. So we would just mail it to you instead of a client.
Okay. And if we got the 15 extra,
Mhm.
does that mean we can order 35?
No, you have to do the minimum 50.
So the
Yes.
15 extra would be on top of that.
The 15 would be on top. Exactly.
Okay. And is that every time? Or is it just a one time?
Minimum 50 is every time.
No, the
no,
15, the
I mean-
15 magazine bonus.
Oh, 15 bonus is just the first time.
Okay.
And then any referral you give that signs up,
Is that negotiable?
No, that is not, unfortunately. That is not. But either way, you'll be. I think it's a good tool to at least try it once.
Right.
You
I
know,
think,
and see.
now, keep this in mind, boys and girls. You guys know me well enough, or at least most of you do. I wouldn't pimp you out to anybody. The reason why, you know how many phone calls I get from vendors? This is the second vendor in maybe 2-3 years that called me, and then I took them in and I let them present. Because I don't do that. I wouldn't bring these guys here if I thought there was no value. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to sell you on that. I just want you to know I would never
Sell them.
I would never do it.
I
So-
thought about that, Rob. I thought you've never done this before, so it must be something of value you see in this.
Well, I see it. It's not a standalone value. In other words, if you do this and do this only, and you don't make phone calls, you don't do other things, well, you'll get some return. But if you're doing everything I'm teaching you and you throw this in there with it, you're going to see some more.
Right. This is more geared, I would say, towards the top people, your A list, like in your sphere of influence. The rest of the people, like the lower tier, if you break it out that way, BC list, you can maybe hit them with postcards, or, something like that.
Right. Hit everybody with a postcard. They're cheap.
Right. That's what I was going to say, that you're going to be more picky with this because it's expensive,
Correct.
right?
Well,
Do you have a sample of the articles?
they should be online, right?
Yeah. I mean, actually, I could probably.
I can see some of my clients liking this if it had good recipes in it. Where do you find the recipes? Are we supplying the recipes, or are you just
we do everything. So,
You know where they go, Laura? They go on Google.
yeah.
Right.
See, like, so for instance, can you see the screen with the magazine?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like a PDF sample. This is one of the 2 tear-out cards in the magazine with, cooking recipes, recipe on the back. This is the letter here, dear Bill and Judy. And then just like a bunch of content, organization tips for your home, pressure washer primer. Yeah, just a little something for everybody. Safety checks on your extinguishers, I guess. Eco-friendly look. So a little something really to keep people engaged. Guide to new construction. Then you got some recipes in the middle. Right, a bowl of something good, some soup. And again,
And
this
right-
changes every magazine. The tarot cards, you can put whatever on there. You can find recipes that you like in the portal and choose them. Berry almond crisps. Really nice. Back cover, we put like this sample has client testimonials on the back. You can do something like that. You can recently sold home. You can choose something from our client portal. Lots and lots of different options you can choose from.
Can you put
Very
your
good.
own stuff on the tear out pages?
Like on the tarot card. Yeah. So it's a card. I mean, if you wanted to put like your own cooking recipe or something, yeah, you can do that. If you need our graphics design team to do something for you like that, it is an extra charge. Not sure exactly how much it is, but it is an upcharge. If you need us to create something for you.
Okay.
But I mean, there's hundreds of different options you can choose from.
Right. So here's my think of it as an investment, not a cost. Let me put it this way. If I were an active listing agent today, I would be doing everything I'm teaching you. So anyway, those are my thoughts.
Yep.
So we're over time. We got to go.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. And again, if anybody
Send me
feel free to reach out.
Phil, send me your info. I know it's there.
Yep.
But you have my email. It was in the calendar invite, and then
Absolutely.
send me your email, and I'll make sure that they get it. They get your info.
You got it. All right, guys. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Phil.
No problem.
See ya.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
You got it.
Well, thanks for coming, boys and girls. What are your thoughts? Phil's gone. So,
I think if the content is good, my clients might keep it in their house on their coffee table. But if the content's like just like something you can find everywhere,
Yeah.
it would be in the garbage.
well, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, most of the content, most magazines you get that lay around are content you can get anywhere. I mean, let's face it. We live in the day and age. Right here, I have in the palm of my hand the collective knowledge of the universe. So, it's just a question of. But some people do like looking at a magazine. I have a couple magazines that I receive that I actually subscribe to, that I read. So, anyway.
And they're going to like you. So they're going to want to keep your magazine around longer, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
But I did go to the website and I was able to request for them to send me what the magazine looked like, all the pages. So
Right.
they'll email it to you. You
Right.
can do that.
Yep. They'll send
Thank
it.
you.
Yep.
I have a kind of tough question to ask, and I don't want to embarrass anybody, but 2 agents have said they used to do this and now they don't. So obviously I want to know why. Why you used to do it and now you don't? If it was successful, or was it not? I mean, what was the issue?
Before you guys answer that question, so let me preface the second part of that question with: did you guys actually do phone call follow up on everybody's magazine? So,
That's kind of what I mean. Was it you or the magazine? Sorry to be
So
blunt.
for me, I stopped doing it because I was kind of on a down side of my business. I wasn't really doing a whole lot of business at the time. So I didn't really have it in my budget. So that's why I canceled. And this was like before COVID. And then I just never restarted it. So it wasn't because I didn't like it. It's just at the time I couldn't really afford it, to be honest. So it was just something that I couldn't do every other month, pay the $250. So, but I think that it is worth it. It's like I said, it's a really nice magazine. And I feel like it's that your client feels like they're getting something really nice from you. It's not
Exactly.
some little cheap paper magazine. It's really nice. And so,
Right.
and you have to think of it as a touch.
right,
So,
not as an end all be
client-
all.
Yeah. So even if you think, well, does my client like it? Are they going to like the articles? Are they interested in this? You really have to get away from that part of it and just look at the fact that you're touching them every other month with a nice magazine. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, again, it's I have an expression that says, when people say, what's the best lead generation? And I say, they all work if you do.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to work and follow up and do the other stuff, the social media, the phone calls, the emails and stuff, then don't bother. Just send me the money. Send me the $200. I'm
The-
more than happy.
The one thing I would have concern with is the really long commitment, because 9 times is over 2 years if you're doing it once a quarter.
Right. That's fine. How many people plan to be in business longer than 2 years?
Well, Rob, having had done it, the magazine, and it is a
Okay.
great magazine. Can you guys see this? So this
Yep.
is like, this is one of them, and your picture's right here. It's nice and big, and the recipes are there, and you can go in and change them. I mean, it's time consuming as well. You have to go in and kind of pick you don't have to. You can just have them send what they
Set
do
and
send.
forget.
But if not, you have to go in and do it. What happened with me is it was a long commitment. I felt like it was a long commitment, and I felt like I did do the follow-up sometimes, but I didn't do it all the time. And so I started in my mind thinking, for this high of an investment, to answer your question, Brian, for this high of investment, I felt like I could do a lot of other mailings to hit my clients a little bit more often monthly. So that's why I quit doing it after a while. I think, and it's like, I don't know her name, but it's like she said, once every time that 250 would come around and you weren't feeling like, I mean, I'd have people call me and thank me for the magazine, but they really wouldn't thank me or wouldn't get, ask me for more business or whatever. So my face was in front of them, but I felt like there was other ways of getting my face in front of them. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, exactly. That's the kind of honest response. I'm already feeling that way. I could take that same money to do a lot of other things. And
this is not the end all be all. This is in
Right.
addition. If you got the budget and you're working the systems we're planning, if you add this to this, I promise you, and you make the phone calls again.
Yeah.
If let's scrap everything and just make phone calls, you'll make more money than you are now.
I think too.
Okay.
So if you're not going to follow up, don't do it. Just send me the money. We'll put it towards my vacation fund.
Or mine. Either one.
Yeah, Debbie's chocolate fund. So, okay. Well, I gotta run, boys and girls. Thanks
Okay.
for joining us. I gotta go eat lunch. If I don't
Yeah.
eat lunch here soon, I'll be like grumpy. We don't want a
Thank
grumpy
you.
broker. Okay.
Have
Bye,
a
boys
good
and girls.
day, everybody.
See ya.